Today, we are going to be rebuilding Arsenal Football Club from FIFA 15 all the way to FC 25. The Gunners, as of late, have been so close to winning their first Premier League title in over 20 years. But in the last couple seasons, they've just fallen short every single time. Crazy to think, in the last 10 years, all Arsenal has managed to win is 3 FA Cups. But today, people, we're going to not only attempt to beat that, but to try to win Arsenal a Premier League and win them their first ever Champions League title. We're going to sign and sell players in FIFA 15, take the exact team over to FIFA 16, then 17, 18, 19, all the way to FC 25. My name's TheMasterBucks. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and without further ado, let's begin. But here it is then, people, the Arsenal team in FIFA 15, and isn't this a throwback? Szczesny is in goal. Jack Wilshere is in the starting 11. You got Santi Cazorla and recently signed Mesut Ozil, and even more recently signed Alexis Sanchez. In the reserves too, you got some crazy names like Mikel Arteta, only the current manager of Arsenal in real life. And who is this? Oh, is that Emiliano Martinez, World Cup winning goalkeeper? Only 63 overall. But anyway, we've got ourselves a budget of just under 30 million. That's not bad, but it's not great, especially for a top 6 side. So I'm going to transfer list a couple players, and some big names are going to go early. For example, Mikel Arteta, I'm just going to try to sell him straight away. I might let go of Flamini, who, by the way, is actually just quietly a bloody billionaire in real life now. What the hell? And a pretty crazy one, but I'm going to pull the trigger on it anyway, is Per Mertesacker, 82 rated, one of our better defenders, but I think I'm going to get that 10 mil cash in for him. As for who I'm signing, looking at that starting 11, it would be nice to get in a new striker, an 80 plus rated striker over Giroud. I would have been interested in bringing in Luis Suarez, but he's just gone to Barcelona. Remember when Arsenal bid 40 million and £1 for him? What the hell were they thinking? So I'm going to go in a slightly different direction and go in for Jamie Vardy from Leicester City. In what world would Arsenal sign a 70 rated 27-year-old? I know, right? Doesn't make any sense, but I reckon he could be a good option off the bench. Maybe he kicks on it overall. We will see. Another option I'm somewhat interested in entertaining is this Korean lad out of Germany called Heung-min Son, 76 rated, a little bit younger, 22. He looks like he could be somewhat decent. Might be a bit pricey at like 8 to 10 million, but I'm willing to fork it out for him. I've also got one other player I'd like to pick up, and that's David Alaba, but even at 9.5 mil, I think he's going to be a bit expensive. Oh yeah, 20 to 25 mil, that's quite a lot of money. We'll have to wait and see. Whoa, I'm getting a 48 mil offer for Mesut Ozil. Could apparently get 60 million for him from Man City. That'd be nuts. Let me just counter offer to 58 and just sort of see. Because, hey, let's be real. I've got a feeling Mesut Ozil won't stay at an 86 overall for that long. Oh my God, and City have gone ahead and matched it. That is massive right there. Our budget now skyrockets to about 80 million. I suppose that means we can make the signing of David Alaba now, that's for sure. We have Jamie Vardy accepting his contract, as well as Heung-min Son. We also agree a deal with Bayern for Alaba, and wow. Just like that, we've made some huge additions to the team. Alaba now starts at left back. We still have like 40 million left to spend as well, so what do we use it on? I've got two pretty big names and pretty expensive names. Gareth Bale, 87 rated at Real Madrid. Do we bring him to Arsenal? Back to London? Could we go for this man, Kevin De Bruyne, at, of course, Wolfsburg, 84 rated, 23 years of age? But another player we should be able to complete with hopefully not too many issues, Paulo Dybala, 4.4 mil, 77 rated, 20 years of age. Oh yeah, I feel like he'd be a good pickup too. However, he might be a bit more expensive than you think, going for 14 million. Well, in that case, what do Bale and De Bruyne run? De Bruyne is actually going to maybe cost us everything we have, and Gareth Bale honestly looks priceless right now for Real Madrid. Oh man, what do we do? Out of these 3 options, I think I might only have enough cash for one. And I think it just makes sense that player be Kevin De Bruyne, so we're gonna move for him. I could maybe try trading like Olivier Giroud for Dybala, or I don't know what chance we have there. Oh, Palmeiro might be game if we add 2.5 mil. I think we can do that. Holy crap, we might get 2 of them. Looks like we're going to sell Mikel Arteta just in case we need the cash. But nah, Wolfsburg and Palmeiro accept. We are going to sign both Dybala and De Bruyne. And out of nowhere, the team changes drastically. Dybala, De Bruyne, and of course, don't forget David Alaba at left back. And that is, of course, on top of signing Heung-min Son and Jamie Vardy. Some massive changes. How does it affect this season's performance? Can we win anything with this new look Arsenal team? Also, before we continue on, how would you like to win a trip to Madrid, Spain? Well, that is exactly what you could win if you enter the Creators Cup. The Creators Cup is a PlayStation tournament which you can find in FC 25 in the PlayStation tournament section. All you have to do is enter and try to qualify for the finals. And if you do, you'll be flown to Madrid, Spain. You will compete for 2 Champions League final tickets. And even if you don't make it all the way, there are some huge runner-up cash prizes. Like, seriously lads, go sign up. Do yourself a favor, you could win the trip of a lifetime. Simply look for TheMasterBucks Cup in the PlayStation tournament section. Sign up today and best of luck. This season Arsenal did win the FA Cup. What can we do? Just a quick look at the cups before we look at the league table. Carabao Cup, or should I call it the Capital One Cup, we were no good in. We got knocked out in the round of 16 by Manchester City. But guess who we've got in the FA Cup final? Manchester City. Time for some revenge. We have made the final of the FA Cup with this new look Arsenal team, just like the real life Arsenal did this season. In real life, Arsenal had to face Aston Villa, slightly tougher opponent here. But out we walk onto Wembley Stadium, a new look Arsenal team, but still the same result. Mesut Ozil is on the bench for Man City as we kick off this FA Cup final as well. Ball in. Oh, sits nicely. Header. Oh, I thought that was the opener from Santi Cazorla. Nearly was. God damn it. I was so sure. Oh, great tackle from Per Mertesacker. We've still kept on to him. And look at what it might lead to. Dybala's sent away, not a lot of support. No one back at all. Might have to go the whole way here, or maybe a cutback is on. Yes, surely! Aaron Ramsey with the first goal in the FA Cup final. Dybala makes a bit of space, and oh, it's just too easy, too much space. Oh, snuck up. Oh, disgrace! Come on, Torre's got to go. Will it be? Oh, it's only yellow. You're joking me, ref. Oh, great touch. Seriously, can we send someone off? Well, we got a chance at a free kick at least. Why not have a go? Nope. Oh, all right. Could be. Chance for a second. Ramsey! Oh, he's done it again. A second. How do they keep giving him all that room? Unbelievable. But that is by far the better of the two, ain't it? Oh my God, look at the space. Walcott can go. Speedy Gonzalez, surely Theo Walcott, it's done. All these new faces, and yet it's the old guard of Ramsey and Theo Walcott getting it done for the Gunners at Wembley. There we have it then, people. FA Cup secure, our first trophy of the rebuild. How about that? What a first season, first trophy in the book, FA Cup, real shake-up of the team early, and clearly it's worked. Oofed, or has it? Because we've only finished in 5th place. We're not even going to be in the Champions League next season. In real life, Arsenal finished 3rd, so maybe we haven't had as good a season, you know, because they won an FA Cup as well. In the Champions League too, looks like again an early exit, round of 16, elimination to Atletico. Ah well, we're only just getting started, lads. That is your starting 11. Here are the substitutes, here are the reserves. Now, let's take that exact same team over with us to FIFA 16. Now then, this season for Arsenal in real life was a super quiet transfer window. The only real name that they brought in was Petr Cech, a goalkeeper, but I'm going to recreate it because he's 85 rated. That is a heck of an improvement on Wojciech Szczesny right now, so we'll go for it. And maybe the only other new name in the team is Iwobi, who has come up from the youth academy. But looking at that starting 11, Dybala still has a little bit of, you know, room to grow for sure, so I don't maybe necessarily worry too much about a striker. I'm looking at like maybe defensively or maybe the right winger. Budget's gone up a bit to 50 million this season. And these are my possible options. We have got maybe Gareth Bale. We could try to go for him again, possibly. A signing I'm pretty confident, I don't know if I've ever made in any of these 10-year rebuilds, but Thomas Muller could go for him. He's only 25 in FIFA 16. And another slightly cheaper option, which I'm still pretty happy to go for, is Antoine Griezmann. That wouldn't be too bad of a pickup. Bale's going to be bloody expensive, like our entire budget. Thomas Muller also probably like 50 million, the entire budget. Antoine Griezmann, however, a lot more realistic at only 35. I might go for Griezmann. I'm going to go with 25 million plus, I don't know. How about Danny Welbeck if we're just trading one striker for another? Oof, yeah, no good on Welbeck for Atletico. What about, in that case, just 30 million? Hell yeah, they're going to take it. So Griezmann is in then. I could maybe play him at right wing, or I could just maybe swap him out with Dybala just for now. Got 20 million left over. If I can find a way to double that budget selling on players, maybe we could still go for Muller. I'll try maybe adding Per Mertesacker to the transfer list again. And we can maybe let go of another goalkeeper. Maybe Ospina I'll transfer list as well. We get an offer for Oxlade-Chamberlain. Now, I know he doesn't get up to anything that highly rated, so maybe I could sell him. Not for 8 mil though. Let's try to go for like 14.5. Nacho Monreal I've also been able to sell, it looks like, to Valencia. And the budget is now up to about 40 million. Let's try going for it. Might still need to include a player. Can we finally get rid of Welbeck? Oh my God, they just do. No club wants Danny Welbeck. What about Jack Wilshere? We know he was super highly touted, had all this potential, didn't really fulfill it. He's worth 15. Quite a gamble this, but maybe. Oh my God, still no. Well, look, we should be able to sell David Ospina here. That takes us up to nearly 50. Surely now with just cash, we can do it. And yes, Bayern have accepted at last. World Cup Champions League winner Thomas Muller joins Arsenal from Bayern Munich. Would you look at that? And now, while we're here, can we please talk about how Griezmann and De Bruyne are already injured to start the season? That's a bit annoying. Anyway, Arsenal this season finished in second place in the Premier League, didn't win anything else. What can we do? Can we get that first Premier League title in this season? Still no luck in the Premier League this season, but getting closer, we came third, just behind Chelsea and Manchester City. We did win the Capital One Cup, which is something that Arsenal have not won in the last 10 years, and in the FA Cup, you better believe it, we got it again. 2 back-to-back. If we had just done better in the league, we'd have won every English cup. Champions League, despite taking Muller out, was won by Bayern Munich. But of course, we weren't in the Champions League. We were in the Europa League, but only made it as far as the quarterfinals, and Napoli knocked us out and went on to win it. In just 2 seasons, we have already matched Arsenal's record of trophies won in the last 10 years. It's only up from here. Hopefully that first Premier League and Champions League is around the corner. Let's go to FIFA 17. This season, not a lot of transfers out of Arsenal, but they did sell a player. Not really a huge transfer at the time, but it would become pretty big later on. That was Serge Gnabry being sold for 5 million to Werder Bremen. I don't want him going anywhere. He is sticking it out at Arsenal. They signed a player called Mustafi this season for about 40 million. I don't think we need to spend that much money on Mustafi, but I reckon we can sign, also from the Bundesliga, Granit Xhaka for 45 million. They brought him in. And even though he's 84 rated, he's not even going to get into the starting 11 because it is insane right now. Look at this team. We have got so many now high 80 rated players. A front three of Sanchez, Griezmann, and Thomas Muller. Midfield looks pretty damn good. Santi Cazorla, Dybala, De Bruyne. And the backline's got some solid players in it as well, like Alaba, Koscielny, and 88 now rated Petr Cech. Oh boy, and you've still got players like Heung-min Son just chilling in the reserves, for crying out loud. I mean, seriously, what a goddamn team we've been able to put together so fast. Thank you, Mesut Ozil. I mean, that really all came from the sale of just him alone. I'm going to bring some fresh young blood into the team just to replace some older players really quickly this season, since the team is already pretty unreal. Ben Chilwell at left back and James Maddison, both 19, both 68 rated. Bring them in, swap out for maybe some older players. Like Thomas Rosicky, 81 rated. I'm going to swap an 81 rated player for a 68 rated player. They're going to think I'm nuts. And Ben Chilwell, I might swap with Callum Chambers if we can make that happen. And yes, it looks like we can. Chilwell is in, and so is James Maddison at a low overall for now, but I'm loving how actually quite young my reserves are right now. The reserves are young and on the up. The team is absolutely banging in overall. We're back in the Champions League. Seriously, this is probably our best chance yet to finally get a Premier League or a UCL. Yes, it looks like we will be getting our first Premier League title with a game to go. We are in an uncatchable position. Finally, at last, we get Arsenal a Premier League title, their first since, what, 2004. We really had to shake up the team. I mean, they finished in 6th place in real life this season. And it will be Captain Santi Cazorla that lifts up the Premier League title. There we go. We get our 4th trophy of the rebuild already, and we finally get that Premier League title. I say finally, to be honest, getting it in FIFA 17 in just 3 seasons of the rebuild, that's not too bad of an effort. We won the Carabao Cup again, don't tell me. Oh, we have done it. We have won an English treble. Every trophy in England has been ticked off. What a season. They won the FA Cup in real life this season as well. I can't believe it. We're up to 6 trophies already. The only hurdle we have left now is the Champions League, where we just, oh man, it must have been on away goals, got knocked out in the semi-finals. Oh man, what a team. And with some injuries in there too. If they were fit, who knows, we could have gone the whole way. Bloody, what a start. Off we go to FIFA 18. This season, goddamn, Arsenal sold like half their squad. It's unreal. Oxlade-Chamberlain went to Liverpool. Sanchez went to Manchester United for just 34 million. They also sold some players that I reckon they probably regret looking back, like, you know, Wojciech Szczesny going to Juventus, as well as Olivier Giroud to Chelsea, and even Francis Coquelin going to Valencia. They cleared house, and in the end, they brought in some players, 2 I'm not going to recreate, Henrik Mkhitaryan from Manchester United, and Alexandre Lacazette from Lyon. I do like Lacazette, but I'm going to go for another striker instead that they signed, and that, of course, was Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He now leads the line. He is the starting striker. Sanchez on the left, of course, we've kept him. And on the right, Antoine Griezmann with Muller, Dybala, and De Bruyne in the middle. I mean, this is a very attacking focused team. The back line is not bad either, but in the starting 11, it is by far the lowest rated portion of the team. So knowing that, I am going to sign a new centre back this season, and I'm going big. A real high rated signing possibly here with Mats Hummels as one of our options. Or could we go in a different direction and go for an 89 rated 32-year-old Chiellini from Juventus? Yeah, we'd be able to get him for a lot cheaper, but I think, let's be honest, Hummels is the #1 option. And Carlo Ancelotti wants 79 million. Wow. I'm going to hit them back with a 70 million counter offer. He brings it down a little bit. We are getting somewhere. Oh, bugger it. Look, it looks like he's going to be our only signing of the window, so let's just go ahead and do it. Oh, man, and how good is this? Mats Hummels in an Arsenal shirt. We said no to Mustafi last season. And the very next season, we go and get another centre-back from Germany, but this one, I reckon, a little bit better. And we replace another German centre-back for another. There we go. Mats Hummels is a gunner. Goodness me, this team is outrageous. But will it, could it, finally win a Champions League this season? God knows what happened, but we are not going to go back-to-back in the Premier League with our goated squad. 15 points off of Manchester United. What in the world, man? We don't win the Carabao Cup either. This is very concerning. Oh, thank God. Thank God we win an FA Cup on penalties, and look at the opponent. Oh, man, if we had lost that. We beat Tottenham in the final, and we keep our FA Cup streak going. That's 4 in a row. We also get knocked out in the Champions League quarterfinals, so haven't won that Champions League yet. But low-key, I'll be honest, if we don't win the Champions League, but we win every single FA Cup throughout this entire rebuild, I legitimately will not complain. That would be awesome and hilarious. So not as good a season, but still a trophy nonetheless. We're up to 7. Let's move on now to FIFA 19. Again, a number of outs this season, but probably the most notable was Jack Wilshere leaving on a free to West Ham. They finally gave up on him. I've actually held on to him this whole time. I probably should have sold him earlier. They also brought in a lot of players, some good, some maybe not so great, but I'm not going to go for a lot of them. Like Lucas Torreira, not going to go for him. Not going to go for Bernd Leno either. One player I will sign, however, actually a 30-year-old from Dortmund. It is Socrates. with a decent rating, and honestly, having lost Per Mertesacker, he's no longer in FIFA, he's actually not too bad of a player for us to have right now. He becomes the second highest rated centre back. So not too bad that. The team is shaking up again. We have got Szczesny now in goal over Petr Cech. Son, Heung-min Son now finally starts for Arsenal. How crazy is that? But the lowest rated position in the starting 11 is still at right back, Hector Bellerin. And Debussy as a backup is not bad, but a bit older. It's a problem area. We need to work it. So I'm going to make two signings, a brand new right back, Kyle Walker. We're going to try to pick him up for about, hopefully under 40 million. I'm going to sign another young player defender that might play for right back for us in the future, Jules Koundé here from Bordeaux. And why not throw another good young player in there? I've got Dani Olmo here from Dynamo Zagreb, a Spaniard. We're going to try to pick him up too. Pep Guardiola is actually playing ball somewhat, only 30 million for Walker. So I think we can definitely accept that then. I'm also going to try swapping Iwobi for Dani Olmo because Iwobi is not going to get super higher rated than that. I think I'd prefer to have Dani Olmo in my team over Alex Iwobi. And just like that, bang, Walker is in, Dani Olmo is in, and Jules Koundé is in. Walker now starting at right back, looking good. Jules Koundé in the reserves, and now Dani Olmo in the reserves. And I totally forgot to mention this earlier, by the way. But we had some players up from the youth academy. Joe Willock has come up recently. That is Eddie Nketiah up. And who's this without a face? A 66 rated Bukayo Saka. Wow, that is incredible. Three pretty solid players up from the youth academy all at once. The starting 11 is quality. The reserves are set for the future. Bloody Griezmann, stop getting injured. We are off and underway for another season. Can the Champions League happen this time? And will we keep our FA Cup streak going? We only come second in the Premier League, so no Premier League title this season, unfortunately. Carabao Cup, bloody what a final that is. Wow, but we don't win that. And our FA Cup run is over, the streak is over, and Spurs are the ones that win it after us. No, that cannot be. We don't make the Champions League final either, so we have just had our first trophyless season when the team's about as good as it's looked ever. Make sense of that. What's the difference? I mean, yeah, we played Heung-min Son and Szczesny. Is Szczesny being in goal the problem? I don't know. A disappointing season, but off we go to FIFA 20. Another big clearance of players this season. They spent a lot of money, Arsenal, but maybe not in the right areas. I don't know, just spending 80 million on Nicolas Pepe probably wasn't, looking back, the best deal. But I might recreate a signing or two, like Kieran Tierney they picked up from Celtic. We can go with that. They also signed Gabriel Martinelli this season as well. That was only for like 7 million, I reckon. Pretty good deal, if you don't mind me saying so. Now, Petr Cech did indeed retire, or at the very least has left FIFA, so we only have Emiliano Martinez and Wojciech Szczesny as keepers. I would like to get a backup, a third. So I'm just going to sort this out quickly in the background. But how about Gregor Kobel or Kobel? I think, I'm not 100% sure. Again, still how we say it. But yeah, 72 overall at only 21. I reckon that might soar a little bit in the future years or so. The time has also come to sell some players a little bit of deadwood. Santi Cazorla is still great overall for 34, 35, but reckon we can probably let him move on. Same with Theo Walcott here, Nacho Monreal, Danny Welbeck maybe finally we can get rid of, and I should have sold him earlier, but Wilshere can go as well. Selling on those players has brought in a bit of cash, so much so I might look to make a move for N'Golo Kanté from Chelsea. This starting 11 is very attack heavy, so we need a little bit of a more defensive midfielder to balance things out a bit. And Frank Lampard and I have apparently struck a deal. Here we go. It's a lot of money, I'll be honest, but I'm happy to get him in anyway. That has worked out pretty bloody well. We've got now N'Golo Kanté, Dybala, and De Bruyne in the same midfield together. That is one hell of a midfield pairing. We slowed down a little bit last season. Can we get back on track here? We're back in business in the Premier League. There we go. We get it done and we beat Spurs by 3 points. Look at that. It's like 4 teams in the 90s. We won the Carabao Cup against Spurs as well. Man, they must hate us even more than they already do. Could have done an English treble, but Liverpool beat us 1-0 in the final of the FA Cup. We are no longer the FA Cup merchants. And just again unable to make the Champions League final. Barcelona wiped the floor with Liverpool. But Liverpool wiped the floor with us. Look at that, 5-0 on aggregate in the semi-finals. We have made the semis now, I swear, 2 times, if not 3. We cannot get over that damn hurdle with a team this good. It's just still not happening. At least we chalk up a second Premier League. We're sitting on 4 FA Cups, 3 Carabao Cups, 2 Premier Leagues, great haul. We're going for our 10th trophy over in FIFA 21. This season, Arsenal ended up selling on Emiliano Martinez for about only 17 million, going to Aston Villa right before his amazing performance at the 2022 World Cup. They also lost on a free Mesut Ozil this season. We ended up getting banked for him, and selling him on was probably one of the best things we ever did. They also brought in 2 players this season, 2 midfielders that were very damn good in Thomas Partey, but the other one, the huge one, was Martin Odegaard. He's at an 83 overall right now. He's only going to get better, but he can't get into the midfield yet because we have, out of nowhere, Jamie Vardy up to a bloody 87, so he's in there. Muller and Heung-min Son up forward as well. Midfield stays about the same, back line about the same, except Jules Koundé now is up as a starting centre back. We have got so much depth, so much talent, young players that are still on the up. We literally, I don't think, really need to go for any young players ever again. We can just literally, with the cash that we have, replace the starting 11 to get it as strong as possible. And look at the budget that we got this season. 70 million. What's the area we most need to improve upon? The lowest rated position in the starting 11 is the centre back, so what can we do? How can we improve it? Well, I've got a slightly maybe orthodox option here with Fabinho. Yes, he's a CDM, but he can play centre back. He will be quite expensive. We might need to trade a player to get him if we were. Probably have to do the same for Matthias de Ligt as well. He's going to run us like, oh, wow, almost 175 million. What? Holy crap. Maybe not him. Maybe instead Raphael Varane. He's a little bit more reasonably priced. I'm just going to throw down some offers, trade a couple players and see what we can get. I might try to get these teams to go for the Brazilian centre-back Gabriel. No, not the one that's probably going to join us next season, the old one. So I've got Real Madrid to agree to a 52 million plus Gabriel deal here for Varane. That's not bad. Meanwhile, Liverpool want 99 million plus Aaron Ramsey. That's pretty crazy. I reckon I might not go in the end for Fabinho. And so that means we have an upgraded starting set alongside Mats Hummels. There we go. Varane is a gunner. With him in the team and a now 87 rated Jamie Vardy, will they be able to lead us to our first Champions League final? Well, in our hunt for a second Premier League, or should I say third Premier League title in this rebuild, we didn't get it. We only unfortunately came 4 points short. Carabao Cup didn't make the final of, and unfortunately in the FA Cup, we didn't make the final of it either. Watford did, but we couldn't. If we make a Champions League final, I'll forget all that. But no, we don't make a Champions League final either. We win nothing. We don't even make a single cup final. We come second in the league. It's brutal, but it's trophyless. Jamie Vardy fell off in overall, and yeah, I don't think him leading the line, it didn't exactly eventuate into anything, sadly. Our second trophyless season, very disappointing, but off we go to FIFA 22. A lot of players left this season, but to be honest, a lot of the players that left were players we never brought in this rebuild, so nothing we need to worry about there. As for players that came in, gosh, there's a lot, and some I will recreate, some I won't. Like Tomiyasu and Ramsdale coming in, I probably don't need them, so we're good. But I'll recreate Gabriel coming in, as well as Ben White joining Arsenal as well. 78 rated now, Ben White. He's going to get up much higher, and we know that Gabriel's definitely going to get higher rated as well. I'm telling you, we're so stacked. The starting 11, in terms of the best, highest rated quality players, I don't think it's changed at all, has it? That is still the exact same team as last season, but of course we went trophyless last season. Jamie Vardy is still the #1 highest rated striker. Do we need to change that? I mean, what can we get with 80 million for a striker? How much better can we get? I do have one option here. How about Karim Benzema? We are gonna have to pay, something like 90 to 120 mil for him, but again, might be possible. He's an older player, yes, but he should maintain at least a high 80 overall toward the end of this rebuild. Pretty confident around about now he ends up winning a Ballon d'Or too. I wonder if we can somehow finesse Real Madrid into accepting Alexis Sanchez as part of the deal. Oh my goodness, yes, we can. Karim Benzema comes to Arsenal. That is a huge signing. We have 2 90 rated players now in Benzema and of course, Kevin De Bruyne, but that's huge. And the fact that we got to pawn off Sanchez as part of the deal, that's fantastic. Him going to Real Madrid as a former Barcelona man too, there's a bit of storyline there as well. But thank you for your service, Sanchez. Oh my God. Benzema up top. Let's see how this goes. Benzi did bits for Real Madrid in the Champions League this season to help them win that competition. Will he do it for us now at Arsenal? What is going on here? We are 5th this season in the Premier League. Wait, we're not even going to be in the Champions League next season. Where has this fall off come from? No Carabao Cup final appearance, no FA Cup final appearance. What is going on? And yeah, sadly, no Champions League final appearance either. This is just outrageous. We've gone from, a really good run at the start of this rebuild to back-to-back trophyless seasons. Worst of all, we're not even, going to be in the Champions League next season either. We'll be straight in the Europa League with a team this good. I don't know if Szczesny getting injured really matters that much when Emi Martinez is your backup. There's no explanation for this. I'm so lost. Off we go to FIFA 23. Couple of pretty decent players coming and joining Arsenal this season. None that I'm going to recreate. I'm not going to recreate Jorginho. I'm not going to recreate Zinchenko coming to Arsenal either. Not even Leandro Trossard or Fabio Vieira. Lots of players actually came. I'm not going to recreate. Only one I will recreate is the most expensive, the one from Man City, the Brazilian Gabriel Jesus. I know his overall doesn't shoot up like crazy in the future, but a good addition. We have ever so slightly lost a bit of depth in the attacking area, so good to get him in. And the starting 11 this season, actually, massive shake-up. Griezmann back at right wing. We have got Odegaard now at centre attacking midfield. Jules Koundé moves to right back. William Saliba moves in at centre back. And finally, we have a new goalkeeper. It's Gregor Kobel, who has now taken over as the #1 keeper. Not by much though, because look, Szczesny is the exact same overall, and our 3rd choice goalkeeper is an 85 rated Martinez. Could you imagine that? Being that good and 3rd choice. We needed to switch things up because let's be real. The last team that we had for the last 2 seasons has clearly not been getting it done for us, so we need new fresh legs. We're not even going to be in the Champions League this season, of course, since we finished bloody 5th. I mean, Arsenal were in the Europa League in real life this season. We may as well, or hopefully we just go on and win it. This is almost ever so slightly a bit of a write-off season. We're not here for the Europa League, and at this point, I only just want to get that Champions League that Arsenal haven't gotten yet. Well, it's another season of failure in the Premier League, or at least failing to win the Premier League. At least we're back up in the Champions League, I suppose, coming in 3rd position. Carabao Cup, no luck. We have not made a cup final in yonks, in an eternity, man. Do you know how bad it is? We can't even make a Europa League final right now, but we made it as far as the semis. We just ended up getting dumped out by Manchester United. This is horrific, bro. This is heinous. How do you have a team almost consisting of mid 80 rated players, top tier world class talent, and it's just incapable of winning anything? I will give it that it is a bit of an older team with a lot of mid 30 rated players in it. I don't know if that's having an issue or not, but there's only 2 seasons left, 2 chances to win this club, its first Champions League, and we are running out of time. Off we go to FC 24. Not a lot of huge outs or transfers away for Arsenal this season, but one that I think they probably should have rethought was that of Granit Xhaka. He ended up joining Leverkusen, and they kind of did pretty well this season, with the whole not losing a game thing. Gonna recreate the 2 most expensive signings that Arsenal made this season because they are some doozies. We've got Declan Rice for about 116 million they picked him up for, and they also signed Kai Havertz from Chelsea. 2 solid additions that are coming in. Declan Rice is able to get straight away into our midfield. He's that solid, so hell yeah, of course we were going for him. And our lineup has changed once again a little bit with Griezmann at right wing now. Benzema, Heung-min Son are still there. The back line's a little different with Gabriel and Saliba. The real life centre-back partnership right now in this rebuild, still exactly the same. We just got different fullbacks and a different goalkeeper. I've gone ahead and transfer listed a couple of our older players, 34-year-old Aubameyang, 32-year-old Coquelin, as well as even 33-year-old Thomas Muller's down to only a low 80. Jamie Vardy, he can probably go as well, but we just need a you know, make the team a little younger, I feel. After moving some of those players on, we actually don't have a single player below an 80 overall. Watch us come 5th in the Premier League with this bullshit. Surely I don't need to be signing bloody Mbappe and Haaland to get the job done here. We've got to be able to win something this season. It has been way too long since our last trophy. We're miles away right now from a Champions League final, or the last couple of seasons, that's what it feels like. We've only got 2 chances left. Can we make that Champions League final in spite of everything that's happened before? Well, we're finally back to winning the Premier League at long last, our 3rd Premier League title of this rebuild. That took bloody ages. I don't know what took so long there. But anyway, Carabao Cup, sadly, no good. FA Cup, sadly, no good. And as for the Champions League, again, it was a semi-final exit. Even in the Europa League, the Champions League, we always just fall short by the smallest of margins, like we went out 4-5 on aggregate. Is this team just destined to never win a Champions League? They can just have no European success whatsoever. At least we won something, but it's just been such a poor end. It's such a bad 5 or so year period. Just kind of like real life Arsenal, I suppose. We've looked decent, but we've won nothing. We are literally still the exact same as real life Arsenal. Now look, we can't be too hard on ourselves. We've won our 3rd Premier League. We've got 3 Carabao Cups, 4 FA Cups. We've been doing sensationally in England. It's just that European trophy that we need to get. We have one final opportunity. Can we do it in FC 25? And here we are then, ladies and gentlemen, FC 25 with this brand new Arsenal team. You still see familiar names like Odegaard, like Saka, of course you do. We've held on to some big names that Arsenal let go, like Emi Martinez, 87 rated, our equal highest rated, or not even. No, Gregor Kobel is higher rated. We brought in players from rival clubs before they got there with Heung-min Son, and we just built a crazy team. A crazy team that sadly for some reason just has not been able to maximize the trophies toward the end of the rebuild. Can we finally make this Champions League final, or are we just destined to never have any European success with Arsenal? Well, can you believe it? We have not been able to win a final Premier League. That's unfortunate. We come 5 points short of all teams, Aston Villa. And that's Aston Villa, even though we took Emi Martinez from them. I say took, we never let him go. We made a Carabao Cup final, but we freaking lost it to Hull City. Are you for real? But thankfully, we won an FA Cup to wrap things up in England at least. We won't finish on a Champions League season. I thought we would win every FA Cup in this rebuild. It didn't happen that way, but we finished with the last one. But really what it's all about, the Champions League final. We have not been able to reach a final this entire rebuild despite an amazing team. Does it finally happen in the end? No, it bloody doesn't. We get Real Madrid versus Liverpool for the 12th time in 10 years, even though that's not possible. Dumped out in the quarterfinals to Juventus. What? Arsenal just cannot, even in the rebuild, win a Champions League final. Bloody Tottenham will win a Champions League before they do. Unbelievable. Well, either way, we are going to finish with 3 Premier Leagues, 3 Carabao Cups, and 5 FA Cups to take our haul to 11. Honestly thought we could have finished with way more than that, but only 2 trophies in the last 4 or 5 seasons. It just was not a good finish. Again, so similar to the real life Arsenal. Great starters, but they can't finish. Goddamn, either way, that'll do it for this one, people. Hope you've enjoyed. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe if you've made it this far. My name's TheMasterBucks. Thank you all for watching, and if you have indeed enjoyed, be sure to click on this video as well for plenty more.